Welcome to the group stage. The Banshee Cup heads into phase number 2, everybody. So let's go best of 5, and we're kicking things off on Haunted Mines today. Our first map between Team BananaH and Team Gia. So the second phase of the tournament, as I already said when we went through the round robin, we have 8 teams. The captains of each team, they drafted their team out of the player pool, the individual players that signed up for the tournament. We played a full round robin to determine seeding, see who ends up in which group, who has the upper hand when we're heading into those games regarding first pick, first bans. And now we're going into Haunted Mines, our first map. And I'm definitely excited for the best of 5s. We had fantastic bounties already throughout all of it, so a lot of bounties were completed by the teams. We had a lot that they were able to do, just like completing some bounties. Some of them were not all that successful, and just essentially were trying to complete some bounties and then failed miserably. But here another quick look at the bounties just in general, and we had plenty completed. Valera was completed. We had multiple attempts to make Nova work. We had triple healer attempts. Like, we had pretty much, I don't want to say we had everything, but we had Asmodan, Shogal, Gazlo, I mean, you name it. Teams were really going for it. And at that point, I have to stress again, this is all optional. Please understand that this is just to add an additional layer and something that makes it more interesting for the teams if they want to. But we want to make sure that the teams are by no means forced into doing bounties. That's what Meta Madness is for. Forcing teams to absolutely think outside of the box, that's what Meta Madness is for. This is really just to add a risk and a reward layer for the teams so that they have a bit of an incentive, but we're not really trying to push them too heavily into it. It is just an option. It's all that it's supposed to be. And in case that you were a little bit surprised, so the way that we're doing this is we have in total $2,500 of prize money, all thanks to Psychiv, the Heroes of the Storm sugar daddy that still works hard to keep the Heroes of the Storm esports scene alive, more than Blizzard ever has, honestly. And thanks to him, we now have that prize money that can split into 2 parts. $1,500 go to the top 3 of the tournament, and $1,000 go to the bounty pool. And as teams complete bounties, they get tickets for that pool, and then at the end of the season, they get their share of that bounty pool, of those $1,000, according to the amount of bounties they completed, of course, in relation to how many bounties were completed in total. So the more bounties you complete, the more money you get, and so on and so forth. But you always have to think about, is it worth it? Do we use that handicap? So, yeah. And by the way, I have to point this out again. There's still some people, whenever a bounty gets played and then gets completed and wins, they're like, ha! I knew these guys just needed to play the hero. Guys, those bounties fail more than anything, and I want to stress this once more. We have to pay these people to play with this shit. So, please don't get at me in the comments with like, I always knew it was meta, they just don't use my build. So, yeah, that shit might work for you in Wood League and in Hero... Quick Match and Hero League have nothing to do with competitive play. I have been preaching this for years, and I don't know how often I have to say this, but there are so many people that just don't understand this, that competitive play, especially on a higher level, is a totally different beast than what you're experiencing in Quick Match and in Hero League. So, for the love of God, please understand that there's a massive difference. Anyways, with that being said, it's still fun to see it, and they're trying their best, but for every bounty that gets completed, it feels like 2 or 3 are failing, so yeah. We get a Vala performance today for Team BananaH, as it seems, so already locked in on our first map. And again, this is Haunted Mines, so, ooh, and a double support to go with her, so indeed an auto attack style from her. Nice, Stukov and Uther. Whereas for Team Gia, we have the Banshee Queen in the Banshee Cup. So already a great choice to go with Sylvanas here, especially since we're now heading for the first time into our group stage. That's pretty awesome. And who's going to be the last pick for them? Sergeant Hammer. Quick on the draft. We're heading into game number 1, everybody. Haunted Mines, our first map in the best of 5 series. Game number 1, on the left in blue, we have Team BananaH with Stukov, played by the captain, Jean Lassalle on Uther, the double support to assist Vala. Johan is playing Garrosh, we have Itrax on Vala, and Okmek, aka Fancy Pants, on Hogger. Over on the right side of the map currently, Team Gia with Richu on Urel. We got Skok on Muradin, Xavalosh on Rhaegar, Sereni on Sergeant Hammer, heading into the Advanced Artillery again as our level 1 talent. And last but not least, Gia himself on Sylvanas. Now we have to talk about that Sylvanas pick a little bit. And not only because Sylvanas in the past has actually been neglected by a lot of the... Well, not neglected. Has been banned out so often that you feel she doesn't really play a role in a ton of series just simply because she gets the ban hammer time and time again. But surprisingly enough, she wasn't banned on this map. And this is a really interesting composition that gets played by Team Gia now. Because, for multiple reasons. They have Sergeant Hammer and they have Sylvana, so they can technically start to push on 2 lanes already. But one of the things that really surprises me is that in the past, when we played on Haunted Mines, Sylvanas was very, very high priority. And for a very good reason at that. If you go down into the mines, Sylvanas can technically stay up at the top and get tons and tons of value for the team just by simply moving in and, you know, taking one hero down after, one tower down after another, one structure after another. So Sylvanas is very, very good to get value outside of the objective, and if you focus too heavily onto the skulls in the lower levels, then she can very quickly outpush you at the top, and even if you get the bigger golem, it won't help you to outperform the damage that she already did to you. At the same time, we now have Sergeant Hammer, so they can siege up on 2 lanes at once, and if they are able to out-rotate the opponent a little bit, and maybe even siege up with their own golem if they get a bigger one, that's a very dangerous composition. So, really nice approach, initially at least. Ah, nice move. Very cool flip here from Garrosh. But a very nice approach, just generally speaking, from the red team. I really, really like what they're drafting here. At least when you're thinking about the macro game. On the blue team side, of course, they are hinging a lot on Vala's abilities to get good stacks, don't die, thanks to the double support, and then really just murder whatever gets in front of her. So she is going to try, melt them down, get into the late game, get the stacks, and really become this DPS monster that they obviously want their flip to turn into. Murden is going to receive a lot of that, especially when we're heading into the later stages, when Manticore is going to be a thing, but already those auto attacks are homing in on him specifically. And Vala is getting a lot of value. I mean, Richard dying for the 2nd time here. That is Yrel dying twice in this game already. So that is pretty brutal. Already right from the get-go, the blue team is pushing. And they know that right now, if they can push and apply that pressure, it would be great for them. They're losing Hoggar down at the bottom of the map. That's a little bit of a setback. Topside, Sylvanas has now fallen, but since nobody's dealing with Sergeant Hammer, the entire bottom wall is already collapsing. And that's a lot of structural damage done very quickly and very easily too. So a huge win just structurally already for the red team. Now, at the same time, we have also to admit, of course, that the blue team was successful at the top and took the wall out too. So they're basically drawing even at this point. But you can already tell how there's a lot of back and forth between the teams, as now the bottom lane is opening up at the bottom level, and teams are starting to go straight away for those skulls, trying to get themselves a bit of a barrier golem. And Sergeant Hammer is still pushing. And with success. I mean, lots of damage done. Hoggar is now finally moving in. Sylvanas is down with the rest of the team. But Sergeant Hammer has done a lot of damage. The blue team, on the other hand, has basically opted to go for the same strategy. So they moved towards the top and just took the fort out. And they've done way more structural damage than the red team was able to do with Sereni at the bot lane. Now, it comes at a bit of a cost. And that cost is that we now have a pretty significant advantage for the team on the right side of the map when it comes down to the skulls, to the golem skulls. Now, Sergeant Hammer getting killed here definitely doesn't help the cause of Team Gia, but it's a very, very interesting start into the game already, right from the get-go here, as we are having Team BananaH, who had played, of course, an absolutely amazing round robin, doing work here. They are the favorites. The blue team, they are clearly favorites, considering that they have played such a fantastic round robin phase. Again, as I said, I like the idea behind the draft of Team Gia, but the execution is currently definitely a bit lacking compared to what we're seeing on the other side. Good stacks also for Vala, who now on level 7 has come in with Hot Pursuit, so that's already another great tool that she has. 72 skulls, 2-0, but it's also kind of important to note this is still the first objective that we're talking about, so that golem is not that powerful to begin with. Sergeant Hammer dies again defending, and I guess we're going to see Rhaegar also eliminated. So that is 2 more kills for BananaH and his boys. They're looking at 6 kills to 1, and they're just not stopping. They have that beefy front line with Garrosh. It's really working out for them, and they're absolutely crushing it here. So really nice job from BananaH and his team. Continuous pressure play for them, but it's going to be very difficult for their opponents to beat. And just from the looks of it here already, you can tell that this is not going to be easy by any means for their opponents. Because, yeah, even with 100% on the Golem, I don't think it's going to do enough. They have the tools to try and make it work, to be completely fair, since they have Sylvanas and Sergeant Hammer, so they can make this a pretty strong attack. But it will still be a bit dicey, because if they don't do enough damage with this, then they're way behind in structures. And they're already behind. I mean, they lost both of their forts. So if they're not able to at least take one out now by themselves, then it's going to be tough to bridge that level gap that has now opened up between the two teams. So definitely dicey here. But, well, let's see how they're going to play it out. I'm a bit worried about that level 10 ability that is going to come up, of course. So right now the push through the bottom of the map as they're starting to make their move, and this one has to hit. It needs to do damage. They're coming in, but look how close level 10 is for the blue team. 78 stacks for Vala. She hasn't died yet. There's the jump. They want her, but they can't get her. Johan also paying attention and pushing her back out. The fort at least falls, but the top side also gets attacked, and Hawkeyes with this this oversized minion here trying to do some damage, can't even break through the wall. But I have to admit, this is some decent damage from the red team, but this is the problem for them. They could have done so much more here if they weren't so far behind in experience. That's the problem. That is simply the issue. If they weren't this far behind in XP, they could have easily now done a lot more damage, maybe even damage to keep itself. It's not a thing though. So, highly unfortunate for them, but that experience gap that opened up because the blue team was so diligent about the early game is something that is just like tough for them to deal with. So, as is, there's at least some damage done. They're catching up in experience too. They're doing the best that they can here. And, yep, things are starting to slowly work a little bit more in favor of Team Gia. I'm not trying to say that they're ahead, but they are starting to recover is probably the best way to say it. So, yeah, doing their thing. Now, as is, we have an opportunity with level 10 to maybe bring this back. If they can pull that off or not, that's a very different question, and time will tell. But for now, it's all about Vala still. They're, of course, still attempting to build her up as best as they can. So let's see how successful they're going to be with this. Right now we're having Muradin already waiting down in the mines. Level 10 kicks in, heroic abilities are here. So that gives us no real surprises, but still, all in all, very solid choices. Ancestral, Urel obviously, straight with the Ardent Defender, Muradin going into Avatar. And now the opportunity to maybe even steal another camp before we're heading into this. But yeah, let's see. Let's see how much they can do with it. And already a little bit of damage being done here, but Vala gets saved. And that's the important part. They gotta save Vala as best as they can, as much as they can, because she is the one that will help them in the late game too. And here comes Hoga, flanking in to seal the deal for Sylvanas. Quick kill right there, nicely done. Muradin gets killed too, so that's 2 heroes destroyed, and Vala picked up her second quest reward on her level 1. So, yeah, job well done. Yeah, really nice move. So, good for her. Now, with that being said and done, the bottom of the map slowly starts to open up here. Another 6 seconds until the undeads are spawning, and this time BananaH and his team is actually committing to this. Before, on the first one, they weren't really dealing with it. They were just like, yeah, well, we don't really care, whatever. Do whatever you want. But right now, it's a bit of a different story. Right now, they're actually making a play for it and are really trying to get some stacks together and win that second objective. Muradin melted away. Hit by the lurking arm. The CC is obviously strong. The control on the entrance, very powerful for them. And with Muradin gone and no frontline tank available, it's just no chance for Team Gia to make anything happen right now. So they were trying, but this backfired very, very quickly. A bit unfortunate, to be honest with you. But yeah, trying what they can. Now, just to also put this in perspective, of course, when we talk about the round robin, Gia's team finished last. That is the big advantage for Team BananaH, who came in first place. they have a very easy start into the group stage right now. And this is just the advantage of you running a very solid round robin and establishing yourself at the top of the bunch. So, of course, the blue team is the favorite here. Now, the best of 5 in and of itself is already going to put a bit of a different dynamic into the entire game. But it would be a bit of a shock if Team Gia would now all of a sudden absolutely just unleash it and play the blue team to the wall. So there is a certain amount of favoritism for Team BananaH that is to be expected, or a certain amount of advantages that you would expect from them. BananaH's team, they've been more, I don't want to say they've dominated the entire round robin season, but they've been doing exceptionally well. So just to give you a bit of an idea, we had BananaH coming in first, Ultralisk came in second, Dino third, Dequaza fourth, Lopaka on spot number 5, Sven on 6, and Masquerade on 7, and G, as I mentioned, last slot. Now, it's mostly about the top 4 and the bottom 4. This is the most important part. There's a couple of more things, of course, where it matters for seeding. But just generally speaking, here comes that push now from BananaH and his team as they are trying to go for it again. And this time, it is about keeps, of course. So we're talking keep at this point. They're going to try and do their best here in order to break through and take the keep itself down. If they can pull that off, that would of course be the dream. Take the keep and maybe even get a few kills with it and propel it forward towards the core. Getting a lead in the best of 5 would definitely be great for them and would also move them towards the winners match in the group. Sylvanas is already down, and that is a big blow. That's already a huge blow against the red team. Vala is absolutely crushing it, gets even a mega early Divine Shield just to be on the safe side as she vaulted forward. So we were already anticipating that she might be in trouble there. But she's going for another kill, and they're taking Muradin down. The Golem is still at 50% HP, and this is just looking fantastic for the blue team. Team BananaH, they're taking everybody out. Absolute domination from them here. And this is going to be the win in game number 1 for the blue team. Nicely done. Team Gia just not strong enough to do anything about it. And that's a 1-0 lead now in the best of 5 for Team BananaH. GG and well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Infernal Shrines. Team BananaH, they are the favorites in the series, and they are in the lead with a 1-0. I have to also give a compliment to the two teams here. I don't have that a lot, but these guys are super fast. The game was done mega quickly. They chose the next map. They decided first of all, first pick, first ban. Map was chosen. Immediately somebody hosted it. Players were in, and within very few minutes we were ready for the next game. That is such a pleasant surprise that I have to call it out here, because normally when we're in these games, it can take quite some time. There's a couple of usual suspects that really like to draw out the time between one game ending and the next one starting, and sometimes it's really tedious. But with those two teams right now, very pleasantly surprised. So that was an absolute blast. I mean, there's a hint of German efficiency here that is just beautiful, so not bad. I actually hate the Deutsche Bahn, by the way. You know why? Because when we're talking about German efficiency, it's usually true. But then people are thinking about like a Deutsche Bahn, and Deutsche Bahn is the least efficient thing that I've experienced in my life. The amount of delays and cancelled trains on this thing are a disgrace for my country and my people, and it is just an embarrassment for everybody. So yeah, they're ruining even the good stereotypes, and there's not a whole lot of good stereotypes about the Germans, but even the good ones get absolutely ruined. So yeah, screw the Deutsche Bahn. All hate them with a passion. Thank you for traveling with a Deutsche Bahn. See you next time. So, what are we getting? No bounty attempts just yet? Could happen. Where I could, for example, really see it, if you have a team like BananaH, right? And you are in the number 1 spot in the round robin, and then at the same time, you have at the bottom of the map, you're going up against the number 8. You already know that you're very likely the favorite here, and that you should, by every single metric that we currently have an easy time, or at least an advantage. So let's say you have a 2-0 lead or a 1-0 lead. You could go for a bounty. So this is really where I want to see if BananaH is pulling this off, because they tried bounties at the end of the round robin. At the beginning of the round robin phase, they were a little bit hesitant on that. They just said, okay, we're prioritizing the win over anything else. We don't want to go for bounties. We don't want to give ourselves a handicap. So what we now want to do is, instead, we're just playing for the wins. We're trying to establish a solid position within the standings. As we were heading into the last playday, and the playday before, all of a sudden they were like, well, we're actually in a good position. We could try some bounties. Didn't go all that well for them. But hey, they tried. That's the important part here. So now, as we're in our first group stage match, that is a good opportunity. You have to, of course, make sure that you're not pulling a strange one like the Bathrobe Boys, and all of a sudden you're dominating the season, and then you're getting eliminated in the group stage right away and you're out of the tournament. So you have to be a little bit careful with that. But let's say they're making another great player in Infernal Shrines. They take a 2-0 lead. Then you can, of course, go straight away for a bounty if you really wanted to. And as I said before, if you have a team that collects a lot of bounties, you will get a big share of those $1,000 that are in the bounty pool, and that can make a huge contribution to how much money you get at the end of the tournament in total. So definitely something that the teams need to be thinking about. At the same time, we're having now Genji banned. Anduin has already been taken, so you don't want to have the light bomb engage against you. Diablo Blaze for the front. And Johanna gets banned. With Leo, they already have nice wave clear here, so that's another one. But still a bit curious if you're gonna get something interesting for specifically Team BananaH. I mean, again, they're the favorites. They're the team that you would expect to do something here. So, what are we getting? Tracer and Mal'Ganis. Huh? BananaH and Tracer has already been played a couple of times. And also, again, as in the round robin, the same draft rule still applies. You can't play hero more than once. There's no Meta Madness rules, there's no pre-bans, no crazy things, but we still maintain the draft rule that a hero can only be played one time within a series. So in the best of 3, I mean, obviously plays a bit of a role, right? But not really. A lot of the games are 2-0s, at most you have a 2-1. In a best of 5, if it goes the distance, that can have a bit of an impact. So now we get Medivh, we get Gul'dan, final pick Malfurion, so the overheals for Tracer. And we're good to go. So, a lot is going to hinge on Gia and his Medivh performance. Ladies, let's go. Infernal Shrines, map number 2. Game number 2, BananaH is in the lead with his team. Him playing Tracer in game number 2 on Infernal Shrines. We have Jean Lassalle on Malfurion. Fancy Pants playing the account Okmek on Leoric. Johan on Mal'Ganis. And we got Atrax on Hanzo. On the right side of the map, Team Gia obviously going to try to put in a win, at least in this game. This is the best of 5. We have Skok on Diablo, Sereni on Gul'dan going into the Fell Flame build. With Xavalosh on Anduin, Richu is playing Blaze, and we have Gia on Medivh. That's going to be more than a bit interesting. Seeing Gia on Medivh is always kind of nice. Now there's some wombo potential that they of course have as well. The wombo between Diablo and Medivh has fallen off a little bit. Leyline into Apocalypse can still be quite strong, but it's not a given that they're actually going for it. Diablo oftentimes still going into Lightning Breath, specifically on a map like Infernal Shrines, but we'll see if they're trying to set something up with Medivh or not. Leyline as an ult for him is still highly likely. Of course, we're going to keep an eye also on his stacks on the baseline, going to try and figure out what exactly he's going to do with that, what we're going to get here. Mal'Ganis gets immediately killed, so yeah, he's taken out. Mal'Ganis is gone, and can they do a little bit more here? Can they maybe also take out Sereni? No. This 1 kill so far. A pretty decent start. I mean, for Team Gia, obviously, every single win that they can get right now would be fantastic. And they are going to try and put a point onto the board. Also make it a little bit more difficult for their opponents to have any kind of impact with this. Stacks are coming together slowly also for Gul'dan. We have the first camps now being attacked as the camps are up on the map. And let's see what the teams can pull off here. For Team BananaH, of course, it would be quite nice if they could go for a second victory. Would also make it more likely for them to use bounties in game number 3. But Medivh with 2 stacks. And Gia is very, very strong in this. Now, we've been talking a bit about also counterplays against Medivh in the past, and one of the things that you normally want to have is portal control. And that is something that Malfurion gives you, at least to an extent. If you have roots that you can drop whenever the portal appears, that puts you in a pretty decent position. You oftentimes will see also Stukov played against this, TC or similar heroes oftentimes being chosen. Anything that helps you to control whatever comes through the portal, or when the opponent wants to escape through one, is always nice. But we'll see how much pressure is going to be on Jola Sal with this, and yeah, how much they can do at the end of the day. But right now, just a bit of portal aggression as they're trying to execute that properly, starting to move around here. Bit of a leading experience, also thanks to that initial kill that they got. There's still a neutral camp at the bottom of the map that each of the teams could now get. Whereas in our top lane, we have Blaze going up against Leoric. I mean, no surprises there, obviously. So, first shrine already coming up. And traditionally, the battle on the first shrine is also hinging on who is getting level 7 first. You want to have that additional talent if you can. Are teams making a full commitment to it, or is somebody like willing to back off the first objective, just push on some structures, for example? We don't have anybody with Sylvanas here, any other push hero that will allow them to take a wall down or maybe even a fort down, so it's a bit unlikely that it's going to happen. A commitment, way more likely, at least for now. And already we have some pressure against Johan in the middle of the map. Now Giannis needs to be careful. The portal comes out and he instantly starts to change directions. Doesn't want to run into a charging Diablo, but this also pushes them away from the shrine and it allows the initial lead for the red team. Not a big one by any means, but it's definitely there. Anduin a bit of a save as he pulls Diablo out. So 11 stacks now for the blue team as they're trying to fight back, but they're losing Tracer, and that's bad news. Tracer gets destroyed, and that's when they're big damage dealers. They go for Johan, and he's dead as well. That is a great start for Team Gia. That's exactly the opening that they were hoping for here. So now we have 14 to 27 stacks, but with the blue team backing off since they don't have anything here anymore. This is the first Punisher for the blue team. So yeah, nicely done. Level 7 is kicking in, 3 kills to 0. That's exactly how you want to play this out when you are hoping to tie the series. Medivh, nothing crazy when we're talking about his stacks. There's really nothing to write home about yet. He's sitting at 11 stacks and that's about it. So not enough to make mommy and daddy proud, but they can at least start building on it. There's a topside push now happening with Medivh plus Blaze, and in the middle with the Punisher, and they're now starting to make their move too. So yeah, let's see how much damage they can actually do over the course of this. It's a frozen Punisher after all, so the entire wall gets destroyed. Topside, same picture. Wall also gone, so not too bad. Taking 2 of the walls out is already a bit of a win for them, I'd say. And with that, they can now start to follow up on a bit more. Move down to the bottom of the map, take the neutral camp here, for example. Just make that play and try also to extend the lead in experience just by a little bit more to allow them an early level 10 that they could then use to make a play for a kill, maybe take a structure out, or propel it forward into the objective. Stacks are coming together nicely also for Gul'dan, who's now nearly done with this. And on top of that, we're still having Medivh with 17 stacks now. And he's slowly getting there. In 17 stacks is nothing too crazy, but again, slowly building on it. In an ideal world, you want to... Any kind of these quests where you lose the progress whenever you die, in an ideal world, you want to complete it around level 10. ASAP, of course. Around level 10 simply because after level 10, the threat potential is so much higher when your opponent can combo ults. And talking about ults, here are the heroic abilities already for the red team, for Team Gia, and they indeed went Apocalypse. So we have Leyline into Apocalypse play as a potential weapon now in the fights to come. And with level 10, they're not making any crazy move for fort or for a big fight, but they're moving into enemy territory and steal their Khaldor camp away, and are attempting at least to set something up with those castles in the middle. Yeah, and there's 6 of them right now. 2 full camps that are currently attacking here. So another thing to really pay attention to and that they got to deal with. Level 10 is now available on both sides. No surprises, still in Tomb. We have also the Quantum Spike for Tracer, and of course the Dragon's Arrow for our boy Hanzo. So he's going to try and YOLO that out and set things up for the rest of the team. Gul'dan still slowly starting to poke a little bit here and attempting to make some moves against specifically the bottom wall. With a lot of wave clear, of course, with the level 1 talent that he chose. And Tracer plus Leo are attempting to put Blaze into a bit of a pickle here at the top lane. Not with a whole lot of success yet, but again, working on it. And everybody is just essentially waiting for the next objective to come up. Getting ready. Or ideally, of course, hoping to catch somebody and then make a move for that. But either way, we now have the next objective happening down at the bottom of the map, so that's the next one. This time we're talking about an Arcane Punisher. So we're gonna get those Arcane Sentries. Gia is just providing vision. He's at 19 stacks, he's just moving around, providing vision. He's like, alright, spray game is not quite on point. I mean, he's going standard here. A little bit too vanilla for my taste. It's actually really insulting that vanilla is like as a bad thing. If something is vanilla, it's basically just like too standard. Good vanilla is one of the best ice creams that you can possibly get. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I'm not saying there's nothing else that's better, but damn, vanilla is great as a flavor. And way superior to chocolate, by the way. Just saying, if you think that chocolate is superior flavor, you're just wrong. You're just so wrong. Banoffee is best, tiramisu is amazing, but when it comes down to a battle between chocolate and vanilla, there's a clear winner. Mal'Ganis is gone. Aatrox, can they get him too? No, they can't. But a lot of this is really being enabled by Medivh again. I said it in the draft already and at the beginning of the game, and I have to highlight that once more. He is doing just a fantastic job with this. Gia is enabling plays by his team and has been doing so for a long time. Hasn't completed his baseline quest yet, but just the portal and shield plays alone are really working for them and give them a huge advantage. So this is looking powerful. They have a leading experience, and even if it's not a big one, it will translate into an early talent advantage that should allow them to go for another Punisher. Now they have a bit of a problem with the top lane, to be fair, because oh, there's the Entomb against Anduin. Yeah, Anduin is always in trouble when he can't run away. So there's a portal. It's actually kind of unfair when you think about it. Like, there's portals for escape and then the Anduin pull. Now they try to go for Johan. Topside fort, though, is losing hit points. And a lot of that. I mean, yeah. Arrow used by Hanzo at the bottom of the map to stun out Blaze. Not really of any big consequence, but shutting him down quickly. They are not able to fight into this. So topside fort is about to be taken out. And that's value. That's a lot of value for the blue team. So even if they're losing the fort now at the bottom of the map, I think they're going to be fine with this. I mean, don't get me wrong, they obviously want to save it. But if they lose it here after all, it's not going to be the end of the world. They did structural damage. That was important. And they're defending well. They haven't lost anybody after Gul'dan just used Horrify a second ago. But here comes the next attack. And with that topside push, it also forced Blaze towards the top to try and defend, which means that he's now missing for the bot lane attack. The fort still falls, that was a given in the first place. And now we have 4 kills to 0. Here comes Gul'dan. And they take down Leo and Mal'Ganis. Double kill for the red team. Well played, really well played actually. That wasn't a 4 versus 5. And they kill Hanzo as well. Diablo with a portal could go deep, take Hanzo down. 3 heroes eliminated, and all of a sudden we're talking keep. Damn. Team Gia. That escalated quickly. It really looked like it was just about the bottom fort and then maybe the wall, and now the keep itself has lost half of its hit points. They're moving back here since they don't want to risk anything, and death timers are still insanely low. But Blaze has moved into the middle on the map of the meantime. They're nearly on level 16, so they're extending the experience advantage that they grabbed for themselves. And they're going to take, of course, the fort in the middle of the map out now too. That is some sexy play. They're looking very strong in game number 2. This is a completely different team from what we observed in game number 1. And you can tell that it's super difficult for the blue team, for Team BananaH, to make any big move here. Now they're behind by a talent, and Anduin has officially turned into the pullout king, since he now has the double leap of faith right there. So, not too bad. That's a double pull that he can use in any upcoming fight to ruin the day of the opponent's team. Especially to ruin the day of Leoric whenever he lands an Entomb. So, there's that. 30,000 damage for Gul'dan now. We got 33,000 for Hanzo. He's still a bit ahead of all of this. But they're dominating the map here. And Score can be hyper-aggressive, with Gia always providing another shield for him. So that's the beauty of all of this. You get the shield, you get the portal to get out. That means you can just go full YOLO at the front the solo YOLO plays from him, and it allows them to take Leoric down again, to activate his trade for the second time now. Stacks for Medivh, 33. Not insane, but again, he's nearly there. This is the time when he needs to be super careful that he doesn't fall. Now 2 forts are out, 1 keep has been destroyed. Yep, so they're getting more and more value out of all of this. And just to highlight that real quickly, we haven't seen a single kill yet for Team BananaH. Not 1 kill. They didn't kill a single hero yet. Nothing. And they got tracers zipping around here with Hanzo arrows. So, yeah, they are heavily struggling on this end. Massive problem for them. And let's see if they can do a bit more here. Already the damage at the topside fort, sorry, the topside camp, as they're trying to steal the shamans away. That will also allow them very quickly then to go for the topside fort, which is the final one. The next shrine spawns in the middle, which means that there's no fountain any longer for hit point and mana sustain for Team BananaH. So that's a problem. And I kind of feel compelled again to highlight that this is the number 1 against the number 8 in the standings. Game number 1 reflected that. Game number 2 definitely doesn't. I'm pretty sure you can't put all of it onto GR playing Medivh here. It plays a huge part, but the team looks like they might have needed the first map as a bit of a warm-up. And this is a totally different story. Hanzo gets attacked and barely makes it out. The Horrify was a little bit too late in order to deal with this. Yeah, APOC also not a lot of value. The coordination is a bit off for the red team in this fight. They try to go for Tracer, and BananaH is able to escape. BananaH able to move out. He escapes. Red team has to slowly back off of this. Their topside camp is still pushing, but they have now given up the position on the shrine to their opponent. And that means that for the first time here, BananaH and his boys can really start to do a bit of work and maybe even get a Punisher. They're trying. That portal comes out again. There's of course a huge threat level coming from it, but it's 16 versus 16 talent. There's a stats advantage thanks to the level 18 for Team Gia, and they go for Leoric again, and Leo is down. Leo is dead, but they're only 5 hits away, 5 stacks away from grabbing that objective. 1, and there it is. Quest completed for Medivh. Time to feed, baby. But even if he does, at least the blue team got themselves a Punisher. Now the topside fort is probably not going to fall here, but it has taken tons of damage and is mega close. Diablo, he's getting away, isn't he? Oh, look at that fucker. Yeah, but there's the arrow. I was just saying, they need the arrow from Hanzo, and I didn't think that they would get it in time, but yep, there it is. And that's a really, really nice arrow kill now that they were able to get. There's catapults coming in at the bottom of the map. There's actually a lot of catapults at the bottom of the map. Team, somebody should deal with that. That's 4 catapults on your core. You should be a little bit concerned about that. That core is losing hit points. I don't care if they're pushing in the middle and take a fort out, but not sending anybody back for that is a little bit stupid. They thought the minion wave would take care of it. Now Leo is hearthing back, and boys, you're way too late. That is 40% of your core hit points lost for no reason. Wow. Talking about either they blanked and just didn't see it, or they were just sitting there and they were like, oh yeah, the minion wave is going to clear it up. One of the two things is true. Either they didn't realize it, or realized it too late, or they thought the spawning minion wave would clear it up a lot faster than it actually did. So they just lost 40% on their core, and that is bad news. I mean, damn. Nice escape here, guys. Level 20 is ready for them now. So, yeah, gotta watch that bot lane. Now it's a huge problem. It was already an issue before, but now it's a real problem. There's some backdoor attempts that could definitely succeed now. They're still at level 20 advantage that they also have, but whew. Yeah, talking about backdoor attempts, they're already starting to move bot side in order to siege up on this a little bit. Keep in mind, they have a level 20 advantage and they seem to be eager to use it. That might be a bit greedy though. 9 kills to 2, they have level 20, but just walking up towards the opponent's core like this is maybe a bit too much. So this is a bit ballsy. Let's see if that works out for him. If they can get a kill, then yeah, sure. Nice attempt to go for Tracer with a stun follow-up on the jet propulsion, but not enough. Alright, there comes the light bomb, and they're being forced back. So yeah, they're a bit too aggressive about it. Unless they're getting a kill here very quickly, I don't think they can make this work. There's the Entomb. Bunker's being used. Leyline is dropping out. Yeah, half a level now until 20. There's still a camp in the middle of the map for the blue team that at least gives them some value that they can use. Tranquility. Malfurion dodging out on the portal. And they're fine here. They're still totally okay. And it seems like Diablo might fall. Gets the shield just before Tracer is able to come in and put the final blow to Diablo. So, yeah. Nicely done. I mean, I guess you can always try. If you get the kill, then you're fine. But they are losing at least a little bit of ground here in the middle of the map for that very reason. Not the end of the world or anything, but still. No, definitely noteworthy. Okay, so. Either way, we now have topside shrine spawning. And it's actually kind of funny because there's still a fort here. I think they're going to lose it before the shrine spawns. It would be very much shocking if they didn't try and correct that quickly. We have Burning Despair as the level 20 talent, which again kind of makes sense considering that we have Medivh and Anduin on the other side. So they're just reacting to how many, and we have a bunker of course too. There's just too many things that can deal with Entomb. So they just said, you know what, screw it. We're going to go for a different choice here. We're not going to go into our normal Entomb upgrade. It's just not really worth it. Still a one Khaldor down at the bottom of the map, soaking up some damage, so the keep might lose some hit points to the minion wave. But the attack here towards the top is still starting up, and this is really where we could get now the big advantage. Because now there's a chance that you get that big Punisher in the late game. Apocalypse doesn't hit anything, scatters them slightly, but that's it. Leyline is already coming out, so does Tranquility, as they're starting to make a play there. Bunker on the ground for the next move. And nobody getting close to a kill just yet. They're trying. Oh, nice! CC chain against Johan, and Mal'Ganis is dead. Mal'Ganis going down. Big setback now for the blue team. And again, the engage from Skork. He gets the shield as he dives in deep. They're hoping for a second kill, and they get it against Leoric. So 12 kills, 2-2. And they're hoping with portals to chase them down and with the Leyline. And they're actually catching Hanzo. Can they get the kill? Yes, maybe. And bit too slippery. Little bit too slippery. All oiled up body from Hanzo. So he just slips away there. Yeah, he was always a little bit on the kinky side, but in this case it actually helped him out. So, yeah, if he didn't have those particular preferences, then I think the last fight would have been a little bit harder for him. But this guy, they just couldn't get a hold of him. So, yeah, he just slipped through. And easy one. Still, Punisher for the red team. They weren't able to quite finish it right then and there. But this is now an opportunity to maybe make exactly that type of play. On the damage side, we have 70,000 for Gul'dan. And on top of that, we have Hanzo with 87k for himself. A couple of camps still being taken. Khaldor is mostly at the bottom of the map by the blue team. And everybody else is now focusing towards the top of the map. Malfurion is actually the only one that hasn't died yet on the blue team side. Team BananaH, their support is the only one that hasn't been destroyed yet. But they might still lose the game right here. Because there's the stun chain and Leo is gone. Leorki activating his trade for the 5th time in the game. Leyline comes out. Medivh with big plays here. Pretty okay damage too. 32,000, not too shabby. So they're making their moves. The keep at the top is definitely going to fall. We have also talking keeps. Big attack in the middle. So this keep is gone as well. But the problem is that with only 60% on the core remaining, I just don't see a world in which the game doesn't end here. I just don't see it. They have a 5 versus 4. Leo isn't back yet. Now they go for Mal'Ganis. They drop him as well, so he is dead. And yeah, that's just a bit of a disaster. The keep in the middle on the red team side has now fallen, but it doesn't really help them if they're losing the game right now, and that is certainly what it looks like. So very nice move from Team Gia, and the blue team loses on Infernal Shrines. Or do they? Well, Diablo's down, Medivh is down, Gul'dan is down. Hello? 8%, 7. They saved the game. What? And the core is losing hit points over here. You are kidding me, right? You are kidding. You gotta be joking. 71% against 7, and now they're going to try and end it. They're crossing the map already. Oh, come on! Not like this! No, Team Gia! Are you for real? Is this really how it's gonna end now? 7 kills to 14! 2-0! Team BananaH wins Infernal Shrines. Insane. Game number 3, Aldrich Pass. And there was a heavy discussion in the lobby for this game. Who paid the Punisher on the last map? And multiple players on the side of Team BananaH confessed that they paid the Punisher to int hard. So yeah, I still can't believe that Team Gia was unable to end the game there. But yeah, that was a wild twist towards the end. So very, very unlucky. A 2-0 advantage now for them. And okay, it's match point. It's a best of 3, it's match point. We have the number 1 in the standings after the round robin, Team BananaH, going up against Team Gia. And again, quick reminder, when it comes to bounties, these are the bounties that we currently have in the game still that the teams could choose from. So if now, with the 2-0 advantage in a best of 5, Team BananaH decides that, hey, we want to try and get another ticket for the bounty pool, then they could do that, of course. So they could have a shot at that. We'll see. Time will tell. Can they pull it off? Are they willing to risk it after the last game, which they nearly lost? Maybe. Maiev gets banned, and we also have the ban on Lucio. By the way, finally on YouTube, they actually did a thing where you can connect we used a shop for Khaldor merch already half a year ago. People have been asking for it for a long time. I finally did it after people have been nagging me for years. Until now, there was mostly a thing on Twitch, but YouTube has now a thing where you can actually connect that. So I'm not sure if it works, but if it does, you should underneath the video also have a link to things like, for example, HTC shop. Heroes Gaming Community, guys, still going strong, even in 2024. So yeah. Hopefully that works now. If not, feel free to complain in the comment section, but there should be a couple of things that are listed there. And if not, then I have to look into it. There's also a link in the description, so that's like the worst case scenario. But I hope that finally all of the connections are finally working and that's being displayed. By the way, talk about things that are working. Why are you banning Vikings? Not okay with that. The lack of Vikings in the round robin is disturbing to me. It's actually disturbing to me. So, yeah, not okay. Greyman as a first pick after Brightwing are taken. Now we have Dehaka on the side lane. And I'm immediately like looking at those and I'm trying to figure out, okay, if they pick those two, what kind of hero would be good for a bounty? And I have the feeling that Team BananaH is just not looking for bounties. They just want to try and win the tournament here, which is fine. Team Gia, on the other hand, are they going to be willing to risk something here? I kind of doubt it. Now, you always have to win, of course, with the bounty pick anyways, but you give yourself a handicap. It's always by default something that makes your team a little bit weaker. Some of those bounties more so than others, but meta exists for a reason. Just a fact. Genji and Johanna is coming in. Still, you could play a few more globes. You could really try to macro it up here. I think this is also one of the maps where in the past we made arguments for Zagara, for example, with Nidus that you could technically play. And that has been attempted a few times. Yeah. Falstad is still up. So if the Haka were you on the other side, you could still try Falstad. And yeah, final ban now for this particular series. I mean, 10 heroes are already out, right? 10 heroes have been played, can't be played again. So those are already out. If it comes to a 4th map, that number is going to increase pretty heavily. What am I talking about? 10, 20. Sorry, 20. This is game 3. Nuburak Gets the axe. Anubarak being banned here is mainly because with Anubarak, again, you can sneak the objective. You can simply move over to the grunts at the prisoner camp, spawn a couple of beetles, distract the grunts. Grunts are basically like distracted by squirrels all the time. It's like, oh, an enemy, oh, squirrel. And yeah, so they're running after the beetles. And then you can just like channel it, and that's that. So people have really been learning how to properly pay attention to that and make sure that Anubarak doesn't get that chance. But yeah. Varian and Abatha. I mean, part of me really hopes that we're going to see the Twin Blade Varian with Abatha as a symbiote, because it would be kind of fun. Then, on the other hand, unless they're now picking... They need a healer, right? So, Varian is still the main tank and played by Johan. And if you're playing a main tank Varian, you're obviously going into Taunt. There's also Greymane behind it, so Abatha is mostly going to focus on Greymane. But just part of me wants to have some triple frontline with Abatha just going to assist at Meme Blades Varian, but I don't think we're going to see that. Side lane Arthurs now for Team Gia. Actually, they might play Johanna on the side lane, at least initially, and then later on use her as the main tank in the team fights. It's still a pretty beefy frontline wall, no matter what they're doing here. And that puts us into the position where Jean Lassalle has the final pick. They need a support. They need some healer. Going solo Abatha here. Bit unlikely. And it's Deckard Cain. It's the old geezer with the stick that comes in, and that puts us into an Ultra Pass. Ladies and gentlemen, match point number 1 for Team BananaH. Game number 3 in the best of 5 between Team Gia and Team BananaH. Match point number 1, BananaH and the boys in blue on the left with the 2-0 advantage in the best of 5. And here we go. BananaH on Abatha. Yep, we got Johan on Varian, Jean Lassalle on Deckard Cain, Fancy Pants aka Opmek on Dehaka, and It Tracks on Greymane. As over on the right side of the map, we get Gia on Genji, we got Skok on Johanna, Richu on Arthurs, Xavalosh on Brightwing, and Sereni is playing Cassia. So, can they make it a 3-0, or are we going to see the start of maybe even a reverse sweep? Johan is already oinking around a little bit on the money pick. Yeah, careful with Varian. Varian is just getting absolutely murdered here. I have no idea how he survived that. The oversized minion made it out of the fight. Varian, he came, he saw, and he ran away. Veni, Vidi, PP. Peed his pants immediately. I mean, look at this. Ran out, got caught, got bullied, got attacked. Then it just went all in on him, and Varian is like, error, error, error. Mistakes were made. Team help. And they actually did. They helped him, and he got out. So, yeah, nice. And he didn't look good for quite some time there. But yeah, nicely done. So now a bit of a reset. We have stacks for Cassia on level 1, so she's going to be sitting at 4. We're going to keep our eye on the numbers. Comes up on the map in the mid lane camp is something that you really should diligently grab whenever you can. And yeah, on top of that, what's the top? The Haka. Can they get something done? And yes, indeed they can. The Haka is down, and that is first blood for Team Gia. Once again, a good start into the game. It's not the beginning of the game that worries me, though. After game number 2, it's definitely the end of the game that leaves me in suspense. So let's see what they can be doing here. They go for Cassia again. She wants to kill, doesn't get it, and now Cassia is gone. But so is Varian. So kill for a kill. Greymane later on is also going to be interesting. I mean, one of the reasons why we have Arthurs in the game now is that he can really control a lot of what Greymane does. Back in the day, for example, you would always try to play someone like Arthurs against heroes like Greymane, Illidan, and really just deal with them by slowing them down, slowing the auto attacks here, and then also rooting them into the ground. So something that they could try and do here too. On top of that, you have, of course, with Johanna also a blind that she can use as a tool. You have some stuns, polies. There's a lot of CC on the end on the side of the red team. The double Greymane play that we're definitely going to see once that we have Abatha with a copy is also going to be interesting. We have Taunt as a level 4 talent choice. Not really a surprise. That's obviously what you would expect. But very curious what they're doing with him. So Arthur's here with the Frozen Wastes already. And again, all about slows, control in team fights. And Arthas could play a huge role as this continues in how the big battles are shaping up. Now here in the middle of the map, already a bit of control again against Cassia, sitting at 8 stacks, really trying to get a few more here. Nice Tong, but Varian is fine. Genji came in to help out, maybe a little bit too deep, and Gia is able to jump away. So good for him. As long as Abathur doesn't have a copy, there's obviously a bit of an advantage in bigger team fights for the red team, since there's no 5th hit point pool that they can play around with. Depends always a bit on how decisive those fights are. 2 kills to 1, slight advantage. Arthur still pushing this out at the bottom of the map and making his plays there, all the way up towards the top. The 1 versus 1, it's not really a 1 versus 1. They have now the Haka up against Brightwing and against Gia, so it's not like either of the frontliners has gone here. Yeah, Arthur's level 7. Now we got... Okay, yeah, we're going standard. Icebound Fortitude here for him. Mule is now also ready. And they're already attempting to get the objective. So as long as Abathur doesn't have his level 10, start to play around your numbers advantage in those fights, move in and try to claim the first objective. It's not the most impactful one, but as long as you can open up some of the walls and expose the forts, you're going to be in a nice spot to set an attack up for later. A big poke, and there's the root already on the ground. And they're really making this difficult for the blue team. This is not really looking good for Team BananaH on the first objective. So Team Gia is really trying to make that comeback work. Arguably, they should have been the one to win game number 2 and it should be a tie now, but that's not how Heroes works. The 6-point fight out of 10 play towards the end of the second map gave us a clear winner, and that clear winner was the blue team. They defended their core, pushed in, and now Gia's team is trying once again to put a point onto the scoreboard with their move for the objective. Get some of those forts destroyed. Try and do whatever you can here. And yep, the boys are certainly trying. So let's see how far this goes. Already a bit of damage being done in the middle. Nice. So good move. Going to take down the entire wall, or at least both of the towers. At the bottom of the map, it is Arthas against the Haka, and at the top it's Genji, and Abathur needs to fall back there pretty quickly. He can't possibly stay there for long. If he stays a little bit too far in vision... Oh, that's bad. Cassie going down. If he stays too far in vision, then, yep, Genji is just simply move in and gonna take him out. But as it stands here, the wall is destroyed, everything gets pushed out, just getting those structures eliminated is already a big deal. So, yeah. Really nice. Bit of damage on the forts themselves. It's the first objective. It's very early in the game. You're not going to get much more than that. That's already about as good as it gets. If they can grab a kill here, that would be really sweet. But the flank with Johanna, not successful. Gramian saw it coming, or at least it was called out. Moved towards the top and quickly retreated. No monstrosity, no bounty. We get the ultimate evolution. So, yeah, they want to win the game. No Monty plays. It's kind of sad, but yeah, Monty was busy. They were trying to play Monty, but he was busy, didn't have any time for them. So now we have 2 kills to 2, both teams on level 10. Dragon Blade for Genji. Yeah, and this is where things are really starting to shape up a bit. This is where the real game now starts, with both teams on heroic abilities. There is a slight advantage in structures for Team Gia, but they gotta do a lot more than that if they want to win this. So first, Blessed Shield over on Varian. Nice! Yeah, Johan still trying to get out of here, but he doesn't get any assistance. Deckard Cain is a bit too old. He just waddles his way towards the fight, and if he was a little bit younger, you know, and had a little bit more of a spring in his step, then maybe he could just jump over and help out. But the way that it is, he's just like, I'm coming! Oh, where's my pudding? And yeah, no chance. So, kind of unlucky. Trying to defend here with Abathur also using his copy, but Varian is now slowly back to business. The push is still coming. It's only a little bit of damage on the fort, but this game is going one direction currently. It's not a massive lead, but it is one team that makes the plays, and it is definitely the team in red. So good for them. But it's still close. It's still close, and the blue team keeps themselves in experience range. We have also the stacks coming together. For Cassia, she's sitting at 33. We have Arthas with his level 4 sitting at 50. So also slowly getting towards that. And it's all about like getting that late game control that they want to establish with it. But yeah, no major structures have been eliminated. There's a lot of pre-work being done now by Team Gia But of course, in order to take an actual lead in this game, they got to do a bit more than that. Play for the boss at the bottom of the map, so Team BananaH is trying to take a bit of a risk, but we have a boss play being made by both teams now. Top side and bot side, so it's going to be an even exchange between the two. No big advantages there. And yeah, didn't have to sacrifice anything like the copy. Sometimes you see like a double gray main copy play for a boss. They grab this one quickly. And now it's just a question of which team is going to push and is anybody going to defend and when are they going to make those defensive moves. Because with Grey Main pushing, you always have a huge asset in your corner that can help you to take structures out quickly. And you can already see how fast this is falling. Up at the top, boss isn't even there yet. So when we're talking about speeding things up, they're nearly done as the top side just gets slowly attacked. So that is huge. And the red team will have to fall back to defend their keep, or they're going to trade a keep here. That is not a structure I want to trade. Level 13 talents are ready, but they're busting through this in no time. They're busting through the wall like hot butter through cheese. So mega quick. And yeah, that's the big opportunity to get the keep, and it seems like nobody's really dealing with it. So this keep is going to be lost. Team Gia kind of miscalculating things. There was a Grey Main copy too. Maybe they can take the boss out now quickly enough. I would YOLO one of the heroes in. You're going to lose some of them anyways. Brightwing is dead. Grey Main is dead. Deckard Kane is dead. And more importantly, the keep is gone. Top gets attacked too. That boss is also nearly done. Varian is rushing away, and he will have to try to defend at the top, but I don't think that this keep is going to fall. They already have too many. I mean, there's another minion wave coming. Boss is gone, and the Haga doesn't even try to get any damage in. So, it's a bit of a win for the blue team. Now, the other point is that the objective was claimed in the meantime. So this is obviously one of the moves for Team Gia, where they can maybe make a move. Varian commits honorable Sudoku over here, so I'm not quite sure what exactly that was, but what did he think he would do? Single-handedly stop them from destroying the fort, really? That was your plan? I mean, I got news for you, that backfired heavily, and now your team has to play in a 4 versus 5, or maybe not? Arthas? Damn! They saved him. Brightwing and him popping his ult actually saved the day for him. Neat. Very neat. So, forts are lost. Pretty much all of the forts are gone. It's a bit of a weird exchange, right? One team was able to take a keep down, and then they continue to lose every single fort that they had. Worth it? Yeah. No, I guess not. But keep, so yeah. I mean, one armor shield being removed is always big. There's an experience advantage now also for the red team, so maybe not quite worth it for them. But an interesting situation that we now all of a sudden have. The boss play certainly worked out better for Team BananaH, but the objective, that's a very different story. So, interesting game. I gotta say, this entire series has been really interesting. Starting in game number 1 and the dominant performance of the blue team, and then with that party on Infernal Shrines. Big ult from Deckard Kane! Greymane got out of the fight. Varian is dead. I'm just waiting for them to clean house, but the copy of Abathur is now eliminated, and Team Chia is just barreling through it. They're losing Arthas. The fight is still raging on. Jean LaSalle is moving in with Deckard Kane. Greymane is back to business. They really want that fight. Genji looking for a kill. Dehaka dead. What a battle! Greymane and everybody else on the blue team essentially down. Huge fight, and Team Gia winning it. I was honestly, until the last second, not sure who is taking this. I was just waiting for someone like Li Ming to come in and just get resets. Genji then came through and said like, alright, I'm gonna take it. But now it's a very different beast, because with that quick victory, we have 10 kills to 4, we have more than a level lead, and the keep in the middle is getting attacked. Huge fight. Everybody was willing to go for that camp. Everybody thought they had it. I mean, both teams really looked at it and were like, okay, we got this. We got this fight. This is ours. We take this one now. And it turns out that the blue team was wrong. But barely. I mean, this could have easily ended up the other way. But as the dust settles, Team Gia has the advantage. They are now ahead. They have the better position on this. And the question is, can they this time bring it over, I mean, the duration of the game, get level 20 and win it? Because we all know what happened on map number 2. So, yeah, BananaH and his team, they're hoping for the exact same outcome here. But Team Gia is going to play this safe, I would assume. I don't think they're gonna go for some big int at this point. They're gonna play this as safe as they possibly can, just to make sure that we don't have a repeat performance of Inferno Shrines. And I think that's gonna be shut down very quickly here. Bit of damage up at the top. Yeah, Keep is gonna suffer at least some, but Abathur is there, can also mule up, of course, if need be. The objective is back up, and with that, we're gonna get opportunities for the two teams to still, make a couple of plays here. But let's see what they can do. Down at the bottom of the map, Varian. Not too deep, my friend. We already had the situation once. Don't try to be a hero. Don't try it. Just wait for the rest of them. Make it a 5 versus 5. You guys still have to bridge an entire level. 2 fort advantage for Team Gia. That's the lead that they have now. Which could be easily equalized if they are taking an objective. There's the fight, and Deckard Cain is out there and gets caught right away. Varian is gone as well. Yep, he's down. And now we have Dehaka eliminated, and this is just bad news. Genji is going for Greymane, takes him on. That leaves the copy, that leaves Abathur. I'm not so sure that they should go for the boss. They should go for a keep here, probably. But they are trying to take the boss down. I am not 100% sold on this. I'm always like, they are probably going to be able to pull it off, but I'm always cautious when I see a single armor shield remove. But given that the death timers are still this high, they should be fine here. Abathur can't help too much. Deckard Cain in 13 seconds. Yeah, they're getting it. They're claiming it here, but it's always a bit of a risk in my book. But the death timers were low enough. Or high enough, sorry, that they could make that play. So they put a point on the board. Nicely done. Team Gia with a victory in game number 3 as we are going to the 4th map of the series. Well played. Battlefield of Eternity, map number 4. So, Team Gia taking a W. Let's go. But, well, at this point, noteworthy, 30 heroes can now not be played anymore. Out of the pool. Again, every single hero can only be played once within a series. There are no pre-bans. This is Meta Madness. We're gonna have, hopefully, Meta Madness again at some point. But right now, this is just Banshee Cup rules. Meta Madness Light. The only reason why we're making it so that you can't play the same hero more than one time is because we want to put a little bit more hero diversity in there, just so that we don't see the Hanzo Genji show every single game. That's essentially it. But in the best of 5, it still has a bit of an impact, so we'll see. I mean, right now we have Lucio banned, we have Maiev banned, we have more than 90 heroes in the pool, so there is obviously still plenty around to pick. We're not going to ban out like a role or anything with rules like this. Meta Madness is different. Meta Madness, we have, I think the last time we had 22 pre-banned heroes, and then also the same rules as here, so then all of a sudden it is possible that you're running out of a particular role or all of the meta picks are gone, but this is not really the goal of the tournament here. So here it's a little bit different. So Liming gets banned when Battlefield of Eternity after all, so you want to have a hero that can do a lot of damage against the Immortal. A lot of them have already been played and cannot be picked again. Greymane, Hanzo would be 2 good examples. Vala as well. So we're actually getting to a point where you have to think about, hey, who are we picking? Are we going for Jimmy, for example, with Exterminator as a level 1 talent? Are we picking Lunara? Or are we going deep into that box and play something along the lines of Spider and Zebo? Which you can technically also do. But with a lot of the mages now banned out, I think Jimmy becomes an option for the teams all of a sudden. Lunara becomes an option. There's still plenty of damage dealers around, but you have to think about how we want to approach this. And you could obviously also just say, like, we don't really care about the Immortal. Screw the Immortal. We're just picking a team that is designed to team fight. We're going into the team fight, obliterate everybody on the other side, and then when nobody's alive anymore, then we're going to turn around and we're slowly dealing with the Immortal. So they can do that. A couple of melee heroes they could also pick and use here. And since this is Battlefield of Eternity, I kind of feel obliged to point Trash Tannis out. So sometimes he gets played there too. Chen and Nubarak very quickly picking their front line. Going for a little bit of dive, and also Chen to barrel people back out there. So it's Panda time apparently today. And what do we get on the side of the blue team? So, by the way, I have to admit that with rules where you can't play the same hero twice, there's my man. There's Jimmy. I find it amazing, you know, when sometimes an absolutely off-meta hero gets picked on the final map, or map like a number 5 or map number 7, and they win with it because there's nothing else available. And then you have some people commenting, it's like, ha! I told you the hero is viable. It's like, yeah, if you ban 50 heroes out, yes. If you ban out the 50 heroes that are better than him, then it starts to be viable. Yes, congratulations. Oh. I'm telling you, YouTube comments are goldmine. You should really browse through a few of the older videos and just check out the comments there. It is absolutely glorious. So, Atenis is in as well, so that helps too. Tyrael getting banned. I actually want to see a little bit more Tyrael. I think if at any point we have a 3rd season of the Banshee Cup, what I would like to add as a bounty is also Judgment Tyrael. You can play Judgment Tyrael. It has been played as a side laner by Nick in the past in other tournaments, even without any draft rules, but it's fun. It's a little bit like Hunt Illidan. It's just fun. Fun to watch and very enjoyable. Falsa gets banned. So yeah, we still need some damage. We need damage for the red team. Team Gia needs to come up with a plan now. What's the plan, boys? What's the play? Do we get Bambi? Is it going to be Lunara? Or what's the secret weapon to take down the enemy team and the Immortal alike? Suljin! How did I forget about Suljin? Of course, Suljin is still there. We get Suljin! It's party time. Get those stacks going together with Whitemane. Yeah, feel fine, feel air. BananaH with Jimmy is very likely going to go for Exterminator, as we already expected, and Suljin can start to stack it up like a boss. Are we going to get a Zarya towards the end there? That would be kind of sweet as well. Ana and Mei. Okay. Alright. Final pick. I kind of want Zarya. I don't think we're going to get her here, but it would be sweet. Triple front line, get the shield out, Suljin as their main damage. I mean, Zarya can also pack a punch, of course. But it would be kind of sweet to just them go all in on the Suljin, the idea, and just crack it with him. Battlefield of Eternity, match point number 2 for Team BananaH. It's a chance for Gia's team to force map number 5. And, well, which team is going to prevail? We're going to find out. Final pick, Samuro. We get our triple front line, and with that, let's head straight into the game. Game number 4, the second match point for Team BananaH and a chance for Team Gia to force the final map. BananaH on Junkrat for the blue team. We got Itrax on Jimmy going as expected into Exterminator as a level 1 talent to put the extra damage onto the Immortal. We have Johan on Mei, Jean Lassalle on Ana, and Fancy Pants playing on the account Okmek here in Europe. Play cross-server, of course, with Artanis. Suljin played by Gia. We get Xavalosh on Whitemane, we got Richu on Chen, Skok on Anubarak, and Sereni is playing Samuro. So, reactive parry, no amateur opponent, but we're getting Recklessness for Suljin. Want to stack it up as quickly as they can, and already up at the top of the map we're getting some nice team fights as the two teams collide here. And Anubarak, yeah, the Exterminator is in the house, everybody. Anub got wrecked, so he's gone. And down at the bottom of the map. What is this? Dude, like, come on, there has to be a mount on this account. Like, any mount, anything other than that. Disgusting. I was just about to call out Fancy Pants and say, like, hey, thank you very much for, like, playing cross-server. It's awesome that we have some players, you know, come in. But no, with that mount, it's like, no, screw you. You're not gonna get any compliments from me. That mount is an assault on the eyes, and I've been talking about it time and time again, and I don't want to do this to my viewers. I think it's disrespectful to the audience. It's, look at this! This is... Blah! Yeah. If you have a mount like this, please never mount up. Just walk. Just walk. Wherever you go, you should just walk. There should be like a Nexus police or something that comes in and is like, sir, I'm sorry, but you're arrested. You're playing an ugly mount, and we don't go for the uggos here. You have to pick something else. Don't you have a unique mount? Something maybe rare and unique and epic? Anyways, with that, Artanis, and unfortunately for the stacks, the Suljin are gone. That's actually a nice trade. So you can quickly take Suljin out. Best way to stop him from stacking. It's a secret. It's a not well-known secret. If you kill Suljin, he cannot stack. So yeah, best way to deal with him. Sereni down here. You know, that's a mount. That's a mount. I mean, this is the best mount. Right there, look at this. It's glorious. Dum, dum, dum. Look, it shits gold. What more do you want? What more do you want in all its glory? There are still rumors. Years after I get introduced. The rumors cannot be silenced. There is a rumor that you are 5% faster with a money pick. I can neither deny or confirm, but a lot of people are talking about it. So maybe there's something to it. Anyways, level 4 talents are in. And for Suljin, of course, what we're looking for is his level 7 talent. I want to see if he's starting to stack that. He's also working on the baseline. You want to get the double swing as quickly as possible. But even the extended range of the 15 stacks for Suljin is already giving you a real nice lead there. So we have Itrax already starting up on the camp here. When we're talking about Atanis, we got Shield Surge. We're having Jimmy with Fight or Flight. And there we go. When you have a French Jimmy player, then the talent gets renamed into Flight or Flight. What a joke. And then a second later, that hero turns into Anduin. Yeah, I ate a clown this morning. Don't judge me. So, first Immortal is up, and that is really where Jimmy shines. First Immortal. God swap, nice. Skorg is just sitting there, is like, help! I want to play the game a little bit, but they apparently have other plans for him. So yeah, he's in trouble. Suljin is just whacking away. He's just like sitting there. One axe at a time. A little bit of damage has been done. He's still only sitting at 4 stacks though. This doesn't really bode well for the late game for them. So it's not really looking as good as he was probably hoping here, but who knows, maybe they can win it after all. They have to contest with Exterminator Jimmy though, and at least early on in the game, that's a pretty tall order. So yep, Jimmy for the win. He takes it, gets the extra damage in here, but they are hoping to still extend that fight a little bit to help Suljin stack and maybe even get a kill and make this push so much less impactful. Jimmy gets attacked, nice, axes, lots of auto attacks, sitting at 6 stacks now. Not enough to really get a kill, and the Immortal is already down at the bottom of the map and has some assistance from the remainers of the camp here too. So, how much damage can they get with this? I mean, we'll see, I suppose. But either way, at this point, we have level 7 talents kicking in, so not only are they... Okay, the Immortal's already gone. I was about to say, like, they're running the Immortal, they have the level 7, all the cards in their hands, let's go! And then the Immortal died, so I was like, yeah, okay, they have a talent advantage, but that's it. And they're losing Jimmy. So, Jimmy is gone. This was Jimmy on level 7. We're getting the intercession. And this is the moment of truth for Suljin. So, Arcanite access, yes or no? 9 stacks on level 1. Is he going to try and stack this up as well? Or are we instead going to get him with a bit more of a different focus here? Should make a choice here. You've already connected a hit. So I suppose he's walking away from that. Burning Blade, and he still goes for it. Arcanite axes are in. So Jimmy wants... Suljin. Suljin wants to be the killing machine in the late game. So let's see if they can pull it off. Moving up towards the top. And going this right there for Junkrat, and he gets trashed. Trash Tannis is able to survive because they're focusing on everything else. They very quickly identified him as the unimportant link in the chain, so they just said like, yeah, we don't have to attack Atanis, he doesn't do anything anyways. So let's go for the heroes that really have an impact. Let's kill Ana, let's kill Junkrat. Both of them are gone, and that's more stacks for Suljin. So he's very, very close to getting his range extension at 15 stacks, and that's pretty sweet. I mean, that's going to help him to stack it very quickly to 30, where he's going to get the double swing on the Arcanite access. So this is a good start for Team Gia. Guys, we could get a 5-mapper here. I just want to highlight it again. We could actually run into a 5-mapper on this one. And this is only the first series of the day, so yeah. By the way, let me point this out again. I talked a lot about it, I think, in the first game. This is the number 8 against the number 1. And if you haven't paid attention, I could ask you now, who do you think the number 1 is? And you're like, It's BananaH's team. They played a fantastic round robin. They ended up in the number 1 spot, and they're going up against the number 8, and currently you can't tell a difference. They are really on eye level here. And again, you could argue that Team Gia should be in the lead after what happened on Inferno Shrines. But reality, they're getting kills, yeah? They go for Ana again, 18 stacks for Suljin. And even with him only sitting at 18 stacks, they already have them killed one at a time. Level 10 is in, they go for Ana again. She gets killed too. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, that is, wow. I think BananaH is going to get murdered in this game. I think they're getting absolutely murdered. So Suljin is on 19 stacks now. He's not even at the 30 yet, but he's starting to get his value, and it's going to be reflected in the late mid game for sure. He's stacking his level 7, he's stacking his level 1, the auto attacks are starting to hit harder and harder. Here comes level 10 for BananaH in his team. Obviously one of the problems for the last 2 kills that they suffered was that they didn't have heroic abilities and the opponent already had them. So that's an issue, now they can fight back. But yeah, let's see. Gia is already trying to win them the Immortal super quickly and can do that, no problem. There's a blind, but that only stops them for so long. Yeah, Hyperion, they're really going for it, damn. They're putting everything on the line here. All the ults are being popped, everybody turns into a pirate. But they're going for the kill on Whitemane. Reyna is down, but so is Whitemane. So Xavalosh is dead, and Suljin is still getting auto attacks in. He's a little bit low, hits it hard here. Has to be careful that he doesn't jump too far. There's his ult. Yeah, he's gonna die, but he's gonna get well. Okay, that I don't understand. I absolutely don't understand what you just did there. You know you're gonna die. You can't get out. Like, how would you get out? Chen doesn't have a barrel. Your support is gone. Why on earth didn't he just stay where he was and continue to auto attack to get some stacks in? If you follow Junkrat the way that you do, you're sealing your own death. You know you're dead. Just hit the ult, accept it, get some stacks, and yeah, that's it. Either run away immediately and don't even get into the position, which was an option. But if you commit to it, then just attack. Don't try and run away after you pop your ult. There's no support to heal you. There's nobody to zone for you either. So yeah, that was a little bit weird. Either way, we have one fort destroyed at the top. The one at the bottom of the map has also taken a lot of damage already. So yeah, that's going pretty well. And then in the meantime, we're still looking at also now the bot lane getting attacked. Well, the bot lane camp getting attacked. We could try and play around that. They're of course very close to level 13, so ideally they would try and wait for that. And then make a play. Suljin is not the only one that gets annoying here, just to highlight that real quickly, because we have Samuro on the same team, and Samuro is doing Samuro things. He's just pushing the side lane. Being a nuisance! Yeah, so Sereni is taking another tower out up at the top, so the keep is slowly going to be exposed here. Level 13 is now also ready. Suljin is at 25 and 15 stacks, so only 5 away from the double swing. And he already is doing work. I mean, the damage output for him is at 23,000. That's roughly the same that we're seeing from Jimmy, but I can guarantee you that is going to change very quickly over the next couple of minutes. Especially once that he has his quest completed and gets the dumbbell swing out of the Arcanite access. That's some exponential stacking that he can get out of this. 8 kills, 2-5 right now. And yeah, still the chance to make some moves here. But both teams have now at least level 13 for the next fight. So we're not looking at some kind of weird situation where one team has a talent advantage and the other one has to fight into it. Camps on both sides now. Yeah. This should also be the fight where Suljin is then able to get his 30 stacks. And of course he's going to stack past that. Increase the auto attack damage even further, but that alone is already going to be pretty neat for them. Alright, so quick race between the two teams as they're starting to do that. And yeah, seems like Jimmy still has it. Jimmy still got the damage here. So he comes in, wins the halftime show for the blue team. Camps at the bottom, camps at the top, so each team still threatening the opponent's lane with a shaman camp, and in this case it is a fort that is still on the line. That's why Richu moves out and starts to take it out as quickly as they can, making sure that this one doesn't just simply fall. At the top they're also trying to protect the catapults and the camp. And Samuro is fine. Samuro is fine, and Suljin again coming in, trying to get a few more stacks together. Mei at the front, obviously the prime target right now. Try and keep hitting the tank as much as you can. And stack it up there. And Mei is very happy to oblige. So Skog is also zoning this out a little bit as he used the cocoon against Jimmy already. Suljin still fine. Pops the ult and survives. This time he needs the heal though. This time they're zoning. This time they're zoning. He gets his own heal in as well, the own self-sustain, and he's still fine dandy. 28 stacks for him currently. Still trying to work it here. One hit after another, building it up on his level 7 on top of that too. And they are fighting tooth and nail. The blue team, the Team BananaH moving in, attempting to zone them away from it, but they also have to contest with that top lane. I mean, this is starting to become a problem. At least the Shaman is gone, but still, they're losing the tower, and they're going to lose hit points on the keep if nobody takes care of this. So somebody has to rotate over. They want to go for the objective and just win it here. They might be able to. Suljin is not on it just yet, so instead they're moving into the fight and trying to get a few more stacks for him to scale him into the late game. He's going to get his 30 stacks. There it is. So now we got the double swing on the Arcanite access. Gets a few more hits together. All right. And Junkrat is dead. The barrel is ready. Oh, and beautiful hit here with the Arcanite access. 27 stacks and 31. So yeah, Suljin is slowly starting to take over here. On 13, he went into the eye of Suljin. And now, as they're pushing through the top, he adds no mercy. And he's showing none to Mei. That's 35,000 damage for him now. And who knows, with only Jimmy alive, are they going to go for it? Are they going to try to end the game here? They take the keep for sure. I don't think they can go for core, but they're trying. They seem to be trying. The death timers are low though. Junkrat is already back. In only 2 seconds until Atanas is back, he's going to have his ult in 5. So then he can slow them down. The core is definitely going to take damage. The question is, can they go all the way? And that's a huge question mark. They're trying though. There's the ult. They're slowly starting to retreat and they're realizing, yeah, this ain't happening. 60% on the core. Still good damage. I like it. Take the keep down. 40% removed. Not too bad. The Immortal is all alone at the top. I would be pissed. If you are an Immortal and you're finally, you're finally being taken by the team and then you're completely abandoned by everybody and it's like, really? Really? I gotta do all this shit by myself? Are you for real? So, 4 top side is gone. It's the only thing that got destroyed. The keep is still totally fine here. And I like that Team Gia this time moved away. Can you imagine if they would have tried? Got wiped again. Like on Inferno Shrines, and then it's just a play of this again. That would be insane. So, yeah. But now they have 12 kills, 2-5. They have level 17. Suljin, again, is really leading the charge in damage now and is building it up more and more and more with every passing minute. And his level 20 is, of course, going to be fantastic for them, too. When he can just survive and get those hit points back, that's big. Very, very big. You get the rallying cry, the active reload, and the push on the side of Team BananaH as they're trying to take a little bit more control of this game. Gotta do something, right? So they're gonna be trying here. 12-5. How far they can go. For Suljin, this is just sweet because he can sit there, let them push into him, and just YOLO some access out, make sure that he's not being hit, that he's not being swapped, that nobody really gets a hold of him, and then just use that to increase his stacks. He's at 43 now already on his level 7, and as I said before, he's getting mad value out of it. Now they're going for BananaH, and Junkrat is dead. Gets kicked in, has no chance of survival or escape here, and that is the end of it. So, yeah, nicely done. Junkrat is gone, and Suljin gets targeted, still has an ult by the way. Yeah, pops it, gets the heals, and is now just working in the damage again. He might die here. They're throwing everything at him. He's still alive somehow. Whitemane is just crushing the heals. What the hell? And the core is also dead because, well, Zamora just said, you know what, guys? I'm gonna win the video game. GG, 2-2, we go to map number 5. Game number 5. We are going the distance. I did not think we would be here, seriously. I did not think this would happen. The number 1 goes up against the number 8, and I expected a 2-0 lead for Team BananaH, and then I expected bounties. That's what I thought would happen. We didn't get any bounties, but I'm still totally okay with it. We just saw Suljin. Now we're in game number 5. And I can't believe that we're even here. This is the first game out of the group stage. Group A. So whoever loses goes into the losers match, and the winner, you guessed it already, goes into the winners match as the teams are trying to get out of the group. So we have 2 groups of 4 teams each, and only the top 2 out of the group make it into the next and the final round. So how are they going to play this now? we are going to Cursed Hollow, which is an awesome map. There can also be a lot of global. That Falstad is still up. You could play him. 40 heroes are now unavailable. So there's that. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. So Zeratul, Maiev, we got Lucio, and the final pick now. What are we getting from Team Gia? What are they banning here? Again, this is the final map. This is the last one. They banned Cho'Gall. Alrighty, so Cho'Gall gets banned out. It's a little bit sad. I always hate when heroes like that get banned. Vikings got banned earlier. Now they could be played. But yeah, then there's Falstad. You want to have a global. He gives you a lot of plays. So yeah. But I'm hyper curious now how the teams are going to play this and what is going to be played on Cursed Hollow. Tyrael is still up. I mean, when we're talking about frontline tanks, for example, Tyrael is really good on Cursed Hollow. If you have that Sanctification, that is amazing. That's really something that can help you whenever you're fighting for a boss, and also in those small choke points and corridors around tributes. You can use it as well to really make some plays. And there he is. Tyrael gets picked mega early. Chromie is also in. It's also a map where you could play Illidan. Illidan Hunt, you have a pseudo global and you have a hero that can really thrive, always depending a little bit on how much CC does your opponent actually have. How much CC is the opponent putting in that can stun out Illidan and really deal with him? Because essentially the best count against Illidan is and always was stuns. We're getting fancy pants with the Vikings. So now that they're not banned out, Vikings are in the house. This is gonna be good. I cannot believe in game 5, like how? Number 1 against number 8. Team Gia stepping it up big time from what we saw in the previous rounds. So yeah, they are totally crushing it. Against one of the top teams so far. So Imperius is in, so far as the main tank as it seems. Tyrande gets banned out, so this time no Tyrande follow up on any leading stun. Lunge from Imperius, to name one. And we got Falstad plus Vikings. So that gives you a lot of flexibility when you're trying to play the macro game. But, final ban. I mean, Tyrael is already out. Picked. Kerrigan, yeah. Gia's pretty good on both Kerrigan and also Maiev. So seeing Maiev banned over and over again didn't really surprise, and they banned Zeratul too as we came into Cursed Hollow. Now they're banning Kerrigan, so you can really see who they're targeting with those bans. They see him on Chromie and they're like, yeah, we're not being fooled by that. We're just going to play it safe here. If you swap Chromie over to someone else and then all of a sudden we're being hit with one of those melee assassins, no thank you. Kharazim and Zul. Oh yeah. They can jump in with Tyrael, Zul for the side lane rotation. They should go Tyrael Judgment with this. Judgment, 7-sided strike and Chromie damage. Just blow them up one after another. But then they need a triple. They need another frontliner. If they play Tyrael without Sanctification, they need something else that is a bit beefy at the front. There's still some heroes that they could definitely play in that case, but yeah. It would be amazing to just see that. Let's see if they actually do it. Auriel and Sonya. Okay, Sonya and Imperius. We get Vikings. We're a pretty solid 4-man for them, and also one that is independent from mana, so Auriel just operating on Hope. It would be amazing if we would just change it into Copium instead of Hope. That intern that still works on Blizzard with the occasional patch should really just like rename a few things. Auriel doesn't operate on Hope anymore, she operates on Copium. She would be unstoppable. There's so much cope in the Heroes community. She would be unstoppable. And we get Zagara. Knight of Zagara incoming. So many bounty opportunities here already. Alright guys, let's go. Cursed Hollow, final map. We're going into the best of 5. Is it a reverse sweep? Yes, no. We're going to find out right now on Cursed Hollow. Game number 5. Still having trouble accepting that we're actually heading into the 5th game of the series. Not something that I saw coming when we started this one. On the left side, Team BananaH with Auriel, played by Jean Lassalle. We got BananaH himself playing Falstad. Fancy Pants on the Vikings, going to try and dominate the experience here with Johan on Imperius. We get Itrax on Sonya. And on top of that, of course, over on the right side, we have the red team with 2 wins in a row now. Gia on Chromie, Xavalosh on Kharazim, Sereni on Zagara, Richu with even more wave clear on Zul, and Skog going already into Ardent Restoration as his level 1 talent choice, indicating that we are gonna see, indeed, Judgment over Sanctification. So, let's see if they can make that work. Which team takes it? Is BananaH and the blue team able to close out the series on the third match point that they have? Or is it really going to be that reverse sweep that a lot of people were hoping for initially? Well, BananaH and Gia fans here, so yeah. But who takes it? I mean, I'm totally game for this. This is going to be awesome one way or another. Zagara already down at the bottom of the map. There's of course some bounty opportunities now too. Zagara potentially going to Nidus, for example. So yeah, there's that. Another whip from Oriel. Nice, and Zagara is dead. Still the problem with her, mega squishy. Was always the problem with the Zagara. It hasn't really changed here. She is on the squishy side, and we see that once again. So, yep, squishy Zagara is in the house, and she is the first victim of game number 5. Vikings already continuing to doing their thing with the Viking Horde on the baseline, trying to get the stacks together for more sustainability. We have them splitting up onto the mid and the top lane, at least for now. Or top lane there should be one of the Vikings pretty soon. For now they're mostly sitting in the middle and down at the bottom of the map. But I guess they're also in a good spot there, because now finally the blue team is starting to rotate away. The problem is, nobody is going to be able to stop that all that easily. So yeah, the attack here is just a little bit too much for them. That wall is going to get destroyed. Eric is dead too, and the wall has taken a fair amount of damage already. So, a bit unfortunate. But Toriel gets hit hard. Yeah, seems like Team Gia is not taking that early loss of Zagara standing. They're coming in with more and more damage from above as Chromie is shelling away at them. There was some good hits, forcing them to pop the fountain early. Right now we have also Divine Vigor for Teriel, so yes, Judgment. It's going to be Judgment into 7-sided strike and into Chromie damage. They're going to try and set it up as best as they can, blow a couple of targets up, and really do the work here. That's the game plan that they're running. We have Zul rotating between the lanes and trying to just get all of the wave clear going that helps them to control the minions. So the game plan is pretty much set at this point. Zagara, she can also dish out tons of damage, particularly of course as she locks in some additional talents. But we might even see that Nidus there. Maw could be pretty good for them too, I suppose, if they set it up properly and then they have a follow-up with that 7-sided strike that we're still expecting. There are a couple of plays that they can make. If they're worried about global plays, then Nidus would definitely help them. If the Vikings, for example, together with False, that really concern them, and they think there's a chance that we're going to see huge macro play from the blue team, then Nidus is a bit of a global that they could utilize just to save some of the structures here and have something to slow the progress of the opponent down until the rest of the team can rotate over. So, they have opportunities, but yeah, we'll see. For now, first objective is up, so the first tribute is ready. No one gets attacked here. Yeah, Sereni, a bit low. Too low for my liking, but they're still focusing on him, and Imperius goes down. Okay, Tyrael's cocky brother is eliminated. They're both pretty cocky, so yeah, it doesn't really matter. But that's a quick and easy kill right there, and it allows an early level 7 for them. Not a big leading experience, not a window that's really meaningful, but that gives also more wave clear to the Vikings with the spin to win. But they're chasing deep, Eric is gone, and they want to take the tribute, grab it, but they can't get the kill that they were hoping for in addition to it. Moving in for Oriel again, but this time she survives. But they get the tribute, so that's already half the battle right there. Working nicely around the objective. Flash of Anger now in on level 7. We're getting Life Funnel for Sonya. And Zagara is still a prime target for them. Nice dodge on Imperia's lunge though. If not for that, this would have very, very likely been the end of Zagara. If she gets hit there and stunned out, then yeah. Again, she's too squishy to sustain herself through any incoming damage. Nice spawning position now for the blue team, so they don't have to be worried too much. They're definitely going to be able to at least make it through that. Karasim still with a pew 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 down at the bottom of the map. Sitting there on the lane. So, nice job by him. Getting a few more hits out and making that work. 8 versus 8. Zul at the top, breaking through the wall. Belog is trying. Belog is trying as best as possible, but that ain't happening either. So the tribute is obviously getting channeled. Apparently they don't... Ah, there it goes. Okay, I was saying, for a second, it seemed like they don't like globes. We have them now with 19 on the baseline. 10 for Imperial for Tyrael. Yep. Still the move towards the top. So how far can they get with this? They're trying to break through the wall here with Sonya getting some assistance from the Vikings, but that isn't happening too quickly. They're actually starting to try and gank up on Vikings, and it's working out for them, but they're even setting this up properly. Moving Chromie in from the side, Karazim is hiding, and then the two of them strike at the same time, trying to take advantage of Fancy Pants here. And so far it has worked out for them. So Olaf gets destroyed. Yeah, he's gone. And by now we have Judgment. We have more. No Nidus, unfortunately. But we get Judgment. That's already what we expected. From the build, it was pretty obvious that he would go for that. So it should be kind of fun to see how they're working around it. I'm a little bit irritated with Karazim not taking his ult yet, because I think it should be pretty obvious that given the choices they made here, we are gonna see 7-sided strike. I personally would be surprised to see Palm. I would be really shocked. So, yeah, they go for the Vikings again. But this should very much be 7-sided strike into after a setup from Tyrael, from Zagara. I don't see a world in which they're going Palm here and need that panic button, but yeah, time will tell. For now, obviously, still the attacks are coming here onto the boss this time. They're getting the tribute. This is going to be the second one for them. So both teams heading in for the boss. Their 7-sided strike now. I mean, even Chromie's will caters towards it and has some synergies with Temporal Loop as long as he can isolate the target. So there's that. Boss already taken down at the bottom of the map. Up here we're seeing the same thing. Zagara really didn't like getting hit by the trap there, because she was like, yeah, I'm the last person that should be there when they arrive. But yeah, easy defense for now. It's a nice back and forth game for now. So we are getting level 5, game number 5. Pretty sweet situation here. Everybody is just trying to do their thing. Everybody's trying to win the final map, make it to the winners match, and then instead of dropping into the losers match here. And again, the rule is still the same. You win twice in your group, you are in the next round. You lose twice, you're out. That's essentially it. That's all there's to it. So, up at the top, yeah, they're defeating it. Down at the bottom of the map, Zul is taking care of it. Mr. Wave Clear himself. Yeah, big work done by him. And that's the first potential curse tribute. Red team has 2 already. They got the top side fort, so does the blue team. So this is going to be the big battle, at least for now. Vikings, of course, also with the ult. 15 stacks now for Imperius. The channel is in, no interrupt, and easy grab. Easy. 2 tributes to 2. Not even a problem. That was the easiest tribute in the world for them. And here comes the damage against BananaH. Just looking at the damage numbers, I mean, Chromie is at 17,000, Zagara at 21k. Great move. Oh, that was sexy. That was really well executed. Top coordination from them in that little play. Imperius ult and then Zagara Gust for isolation plays. Look at this. First of all, that he hits Zagara is great. And then Gust, nobody has a chance to get close. Zagara just gets popped immediately. Tyrael with Judgment, but Aegis gets used, and there's the heal. So they're going to be fine moving out of it. But yeah, that was a fantastic combo. And again, he hit the perfect target. It doesn't get better than that. In that situation, you want to hit Zagara. She is your prime target. She's the top damage dealer for your opponent. And then on top of that, we are also having a situation where you can kill her the fastest out of all the heroes. So yeah, this is about as good as it gets. It was really well executed by Imperius and by Falstad. Nicely done. And well, maybe they can build on it. They've definitely taken the lead in experience now. Level 13 talents for both. That gives us also the 6th sense. And Zagara has started with a Hydralisk transfusion over here. Tribute. This one is going to give one team a curse, and the red team, they are not going to get... No, they have it. Yeah, curse is in. Nice. Position was, of course, way better for them, but that was also super easy. They just zoned them out early. They pushed out, and they said, like, yep, you're not going to get anywhere near this. And now we have the curse against Team BananaH. So, how much can they do? Zul on the way towards the top, trying to break through. Nice defense so far, and let's not forget that the Vikings are of course pretty good with this. They can split out onto the lanes and just slow things down for the 4-man roaming squad to appear. Bottom of the map has already been pushed out a little bit, so they're saving the spot as best as they can. Zul is at least going to get a lot of value up at the top as he's trying for the fort here and zoning Balog out. In the middle of the map, a little bit different though. Tyrael is doing damage and he gets some done, but not too much yet. He's at least going to get the minion wave and the experience for it, so it's not too shabby. But limited amount of damage that it can do. The defense is strong with the Vikings. Topside fort has fallen, but that's one fort with a curse. You kind of expect them to do a bit more. There's still that bot lane fort that is very, very low and will eventually be picked up. But that's all that they were able to do here. 20 stacks now for Tyrael on his level 1. This is a bit of a side note. Yep, and they're already starting to set some traps up as they're rotating down. Tyrael is going to take the fort, but level 16 is now ready for the red team. Sorry, for the blue team. And that gives us also large and in charge for Olaf. And that's a big one. Large and in charge for Olaf also allows them to make much, much bigger plays as the game continues and just flank in with the Vikings, get a good stun, set somebody else up. And they're already trying again for Tyrael here. Okay, Judgment. Trying again. No 7-sided strike yet. They still have more. Use it. Hit Sonya. 7-sided. Aegis to counter it. Jolasal taking a lot of damage. Chromie coming in. And Auriel is dead. Nice poison over 2. Lots of damage. And more heroes will fall. They take out Sonya. And now they're coming in for a potential kill against Falstad. He's not making it either. 4 kills in that last encounter. Fantastic play once again by the team. Really looking good here. After they killed Auriel, they went for Imperius. They're chasing the rest of the team out too. And that was just work of art. Gus not doing the work that they were hoping for here. So now they can play for boss. They can go for a double boss play if they really wanted to. So yeah, coming in, taking the one at the bottom of the map. Zul is already rotating. Fought at the bot lane, obviously done. Just look in the middle. Olaf can't stop this. Olaf is not able to stop this whatsoever. Has absolutely no input on it. And up towards the top. Now having, yeah, a bit more damage very quickly done against the topside boss. As they're starting to do a little bit of work on it. Can they get more here? Yeah. Get the boss, get the tribute. This one is obviously important as well. If the blue team claims it, then they have a curse. And you want to apply the pressure for as long as you possibly can. With the double boss play, it should be a free tribute and allow you to play this out a bit more. But now down in the bot lane, wall is being opened up a little bit. They're still fighting for this though. They're ignoring the topside boss for now, so the red team has to essentially just slow this down. Zagara gets hit again. Yeah, and Sereni gets gusted away. And BananaH, no, not like this. The Gust basically making sure that Falstad dies as he chases. They still win the fight though. They still won the fight. But that Gust, the idea behind it was obviously nice. The execution, yeah, well, that was a little bit different. I mean, look at this. Comes in, Gusts Zagara out, has to barrel forward to get the kill on her, and then he's too deep and dies himself. But they kill the rest of the team, so it's all fine. But the curse still hits the red team. So the middle of the map is now getting attacked. The top side keep is suffering a bit. But yeah, this was a bit awkward initially. Again, Falstad died, but they still got their 3 kills and the curse. So it was a huge win for Team BananaH. 27,000 damage for Falstad, 40,000 for Chromie. And now forts are just being dropped all over the place. The boss is doing way too much damage for my liking up at the top. I am not so sure what the blue team is trying to accomplish here. They think that they can go for, I mean, keep and more? They lost 50% of their top side keeps hit points. That's a lot. That's a lot. And now it's a 5 versus 5 again. I mean, granted, the blue team still has an advantage with level 20. 7-sided strike into Aegis. Yeah, nice move by Auriel. Falstad flies in. Sereni is too far forward. The same play over and over again. And Zagara just dies. They're getting the kill against Auriel, but a good Gust and Xavalosh is down too. Yeah, but so is Imperius. So they're just trading kills. And this was for a long time, of course, a level 20 advantage fight for the blue team. But now we have 20 on both sides, which gives us actually Fist of Legend here. And we're getting Tyrant Maw plus Angel of Justice. So some really interesting interplay between the teams here. Zagara is getting hit a little bit too heavily though. Zagara needs to be a bit careful. She obviously wants to get the damage in. But Imperius. he really has it out for her. Time and time again, he's moving in and starting to just crush it. Yeah, G at the top now, and the rest of the team going for some camps again. The situation has slowed down a bit. We have 7 kills, 210. 25 stacks now for Imperia, 62 for the Vikings. Really nice horde that they got there. Bosses are going to be up in 2 minutes, so still plenty of time to play around with. It's kind of funny that the fort is still alive. So yeah, that hasn't been destroyed yet. That bothers me a bit. Leaving the boss do that much damage to the keep, that could come back to bite them. There's an invitation at the top lane. Now, 0 tributes for the team, so it's going to take a long time until a team has enough firepower here in, well, when it comes to the objective, to threaten another curse. So I don't think that we're going to necessarily see one here. But, yeah. Imperius could do a lot now. Sorry, Tyrael, because range increase, cooldown reduction, all of that is pretty big. I mean, 7-sided strike, it's most of the time countered by Aegis anyways, but at the same time, you're obviously also baiting it out. And you're winning the cooldown battle, yeah, for sure now. At least with Tyrael. So, Tribute, again, only marginally important right now. 52,000 damage for Chromie, she's still top damage in the game. Blue team is taking a bit more control over everything, since they have the Vikings still pushing, and Olaf is going to take out the top side fort. You see, Nidus would maybe save it. Nidus is something that would maybe save them the fort, but they don't have it right now. Yeah. They went into different choices here. Which is better for them. A little bit unfortunate for us. It would have been funny though. So, yeah. How much more can they pull off here? They're already chasing a bit. And bosses are back up. So bosses, at least at the bot lane, are now back. And yeah, with the bot lane boss already back to business, this is where the fights are now going to center. Tributes are only important to a degree. We are 17.5 minutes in, so bosses are really the big thing now. And of course, trying to get the team fight on. They're just farming some Vikings down here. Still haven't seen a big play or anybody gone for a decisive move yet. Ults are being held back. Nobody is heavily engaging in any of this. Yeah, again, trying to go for Olaf, keep the Vikings low. That's another hit right there. And there comes Judgment! Yeah, but he has to back off again. This is an ult that you can just YOLO out at this point. He's already down to another 20 seconds and he's gonna have it back up again. So it's not really a problem for them to just like try it. If they get a good hit in that they can follow up on, then fantastic. And if not, Tyrael has the mobility to move away. He can simply move out. So, yeah. Still playing around BananaH and trying to pressure Falstad. They have to have Chromie close enough that she can make a move here. Yeah. Whip into the wall, okay. Trying to go for Zul here. This is getting really intense. They're farming Vikings. It's all about Vikings right now, but everybody's dancing around the bot position as the boss here is important. There's also the boss at the top, and Zul has now started to move into the middle, tiering as the top. If the blue team goes for the boss here, and they do, the red team has to respond at the top. It could be a race. We could see a race here. If this gets taken, each team is going to lose at least a key. And they're going for it. Karazim actually diving into the stun. A little bit too early, my friend. Karazim dove into the stun. And now it's boss for boss. This one is a little bit faster on lane. This one is definitely going to get the keep. And it seems like they're going to try and defend. We're now 19 minutes in. So Gust is a big tool that they have. Zagara and Chromie can go up against the boss. And this is a curse tribute. Okay. This is getting quite interesting because now it's a free curse against the red team. They can't go for boss defense and for tribute defense at the same time. But the red team has realized, sorry, the blue team has realized that they need to deal with the top lane boss too. I just don't know if they... He got rooted. Not like this. Yeah, that keep is gone. Bottom is defeated. They can still go for the tribute. BananaH, they just made all the wrong calls there. I can't even blame them because I'm not quite sure how I would have played it. But yeah, they got the boss, then didn't push with it, tried to defend, didn't defend, wanted to go for the tribute. They just lost everything. They got nothing. They got absolutely nothing out of this. Like, nada. Niente. Nothing. Like, seriously nothing. It was a boss for a boss. They were faster. They didn't push with it, so they didn't get the bottom keep. They didn't properly defend their own keep, so they lost it. And then they thought they could get the tribute because they pushed past it with the boss, and that didn't work out either because their own boss was defended so quickly that the red team just walked in and took it away from them. So they just failed on every possible way. Not good news. Now you have catapult pressure at the top pretty continuously. And your opponent is at least inching a bit closer to a curse by themselves. But yeah, the catapult pressure is probably the most annoying 21 minutes into the game. Judgment! Yeah, but the follow-up isn't there. They gust them out. Big poison over though. They gotta get away from that poison over. BananaH, you gotta run now. They can be really happy that Tyrael already used his judgment. Because if he still had it while they're trying to get away after all the damage they just took from poison over, yeah. That would be the end of at least one hero. Now, can they take that second tribute? Again, would be a curse tribute for Team BananaH. Okay, Tyrael, they're not gonna get a kill there. More immediately. Can they get a kill? Nah, the heals are gonna be ready. They should be ready. Once again. Aegis, nice. Setting it up. Chromie, she's in trouble. Timeout on Chromie, she's dead. No, Chromie's dead. She has to die. And she does. Chromie is down, and boy, oh boy, are they... Yeah, now they're really in trouble. That's Chromie dead, Tyrael dead. Tribute that will curse them. It seems like the reverse sweep is not going to become a reality. They're chasing all of them. They're going for the 5-man team wipe, and they have the curse. They're going to win the game right here. BananaH, they've been griefing in game number 3 and game number 4, but boy, are they now delivering in the final moments of this game. They're coming in for the top keep, for the bottom keep. That's game right here. The 3-2 victory for BananaH. We kind of expected the outcome, but I didn't expect the result. So they move on to the winners match, but boy did Team GR make it difficult for them. And they could have won this one. So kind of wild. Wild series. Absolutely wild. But at the end, Team BananaH is successful with a 3-2 victory over their opponents in red. Nicely done. The W in Cursed Hollow is theirs, and so is the match win. Well played.